Right. Thank you very much for your patience. I'm going to do some introductions, but first of all, this is the meeting of the Jamaican Diaspora UK, and this is the West Midlands region. The JDUK is a national entity, and you should have a document that explains it. Yeah? It's called the Historical Origins of Government Outreach to Diaspora. Right? That's the document then explained. So this meeting then is one of our regular meetings. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. And we're going to do some introductions. At the back there, we have a committee that for the region. And when we say the JDU, the West Midland region, we're really talking about Birmingham, Walsall, Dudley, Coventry. We try to cover all our region here. Committee member, Mr. Ricky Dane, is standing by the door there. Can you see him? Yeah. Jennifer McIntosh?
Yes.
Don't touch. Our esteemed committee member, and Dawn Boland, the secretary, who keep us waiting.
She's providing the food, so she has a good reason.
Rupert Phillips, Mr. Cool, and me, Bentley Cunningham. There's another person, he's at the back there, Mr. Gavin Myers. Gavin, would you stand up? I was asking Gavin to sit up here. He's a doctoral student. And my name is Bentley Cunningham. Jennifer and I are what we call regional coordinators for the organization. In the JDUK have 6 regions, and the West Midland region is me and Jennifer are the coordinators. Just let's see with us as we just have a word of prayer to start our meeting. So if you can excuse us. Is this Reverend here? Is she here?
Excuse me. No. We can ask Bishop John DeHaney to pray for us, please.
Okay.
All right, let us pray. Father God, I just want to say thank you for today. Thank you, Lord, that we're in this meeting. Thank you for the freedom of liberty where we can sit together and share different information. And Father, I just pray a blessing upon the leaders of the JDUK, and you have a plan and a purpose for the JDUK. And Lord, we want to see that purpose fulfilled in this day. Bless the leaders, the chair, and all those who contribute. And we pray for the food also, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
One of the things about the diaspora, what distinguishes us is that we are an issue-based organization. We're dealing with issues. A lot of Jamaican organizations exist, and that is fantastic. Some of them deal with health, working with clinics and hospitals in Jamaica. Some of them deal with education, to schools and so on, and a number of organizational, philanthropic, and other caring activities. But the Jamaican Diaspora UK, JDUK, we deal with issues. What are some of the issues that we have that we need solutions to? But those solutions can only be found in Jamaica. In a nutshell, that's what we're about. How do we come together? So, number 3 on the agenda is we're looking at some issues. Welcome everyone, please take a seat.
some, a couple of seats.
Nice to see you, my brother. Seat at the front here. Don't be shy.
Where's the info? Don, where's the information, please? Is it at the front? Okay.
We did printing. We did 20. We move on 30. Okay. Sorry about the fact that we've run out of some of the information.
Don't you have any more?
Have you got an
Any more
agenda? Any more agenda? No,
Information?
no, but you need one. Okay. So some of the issues we have for tonight we would like to discuss, and we want your participation and to help with the solution. We have a High Commission in London that serves the diplomatic needs of our country, to this country, and also the needs of Jamaicans abroad in the United Kingdom. That's the role of our mission in London. But over the years, we have extended the work of the mission to other parts of the country, like Birmingham. And we've had a mission established way back in the 60s, but it was closed down. By popular demand, one was reopened and was operating, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, that mission was closed down. And a number of people have been contacting us to ask us, Wagwan, what is the situation? Unfortunately, the person who was in charge of the mission, the Honorable Mr. Wade Lynn, is indisposed to come tonight and explain to us some of the problems. But there are people ringing up all over the place trying to get the mission, and it's told that the mission closed. Time didn't allow us to get in touch with the High Commission in London to see if they would send somebody to address us so that we, at least out of courtesy, can know what's happening to the mission and things like that. People with their passport needs, birth certificate needs, marriage certificate needs. The mission provide that kind of service, either by pointing to it and so on. So, unfortunately, we don't have anybody who can come in person and explain what is happening to the mission. The only information I know is that Mr. Lynn has stepped down, the Honorable Wade Lynn has stepped down. After 10 years of his business, does anybody know Mr. Wade Lynn? Anybody here? Yeah. He runs a patty company. Patty and what? Just a patty, is it?
Caribbean food.
Caribbean food? Yeah. So he has funded that mission, the staff there, and the work of the mission out of his company. And he's done it for 10 years. And I think that's a wonderful gesture from a Jamaican to his people. We don't want Mr. Lynn to just go get up and go on so. We would like to be able to give him thanks, invite him, and if possible, to put on a little something to say thank you. I don't know if everybody agree with that, or other things that no, that. But saying thanks is part of our culture. Yeah. What do you say?
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I've met Wade Lynn a few times, and I know that he's a prominent figure in the Caribbean community in terms of what he provides, and also is a massive supporter of JDUK. It's unfortunate that he's not here today. Yeah, if you can keep your phones on silence, I'd appreciate that. So I feel that we have got a planning group, and we are looking for more people to join our planning group. And the purpose of the planning group is to work on events such as what we're talking about. So that's something that we could plan and discuss in terms of what to do in celebrating Waitling's retirement from his business. So yeah, if anybody else has got any opinions, then we're more than happy to hear feedback on that one.
Any question or any comment?
Sorry, Chair, I just didn't hear if there was an alternative place that people could go to now.
No, there's nothing. The service just closed on BRAP.
I mean, there are alternative places. Obviously, he focused on Patty's. And there's a lot of black businesses in Birmingham where, although we can't support Wade Ling at the moment, but then there are other black businesses, catering businesses that do sell patties and other Caribbean food.
That's not what you're asking though. You're talking about the service, the Jamaica service.
Yeah.
Wade Ling, we know that he runs a business, but we're talking about the consular service that his venue offered. That closed down.
In the interim period, is it possible for JDUK West Midlands to give some information and advice and guidance to people who are struggling?
No, we can't do that. You're talking about people who need them birth certificate, people who need marriage death certificate, people who need to renew their passport. We don't have that capacity to do those things. You have to work with the High Commission and with the government of Jamaica. It's the government of Jamaica that set up the consulate.
I'm
And you-
not asking for a fully fledged consulate.
Yeah.
I'm asking for just like a sort of interim service. Just
We can support, if anybody needs
supportive service.
any support in some of the issues that's been raised,
Yeah.
then we can point them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So although we won't be able to answer the questions because we're not trained, well, we are aware in terms of our networking of organisations who we can point people to. Okay?
Such as, for example,
I think there should be
Well,
some sort
I-
of lifeline.
Yeah,
sorry?
There should be some sort of lifeline for people, for Jamaicans to come to us
for now.
for now,
Yeah.
just for a basic service.
So we can discuss
Such
that.
as?
For instance, if they wanted information and advice on getting their passport or immigration issue, it's not. I'm not asking you to give a fully fledged service, but just a smaller service that could work for now until we get that service back in.
There's no one that can give that advice. No one knows how you get your passport.
Sorry. Yes, Ben. We can. Yes, we can. We can signpost people to organisations within the Birmingham.
Okay, give me an organisation in Birmingham that you signpost somebody.
No,
to get
we're
a
not
passport.
doing that now. What we're asking, what we actually.
I don't want to know to get in the idea that they can do things that you can't do.
Okay, sorry.
Signposting is a very simple thing, really.
Yeah, sorry. Can I just close
Of course
this
you can.
and we can move on?
Yeah.
So JDUK, we represent the Jamaican diaspora in the UK West Midlands. So we've got a wide network of people who we know. Not only is it JDUK, myself, I've got an organisation called the Eugenia Partnership, my colleague Marcia, Vision to Reality. So we do know people, okay? So if anybody's got any concerns regarding any Jamaican issue, we may not be able to offer that advice because we're not trained, but we may know somebody who can. I won't be able to give a list now, okay? But in the next committee meeting, we'll work out a list and we'll have that information at hand, okay? We are representing. Right.
Yes.
Just to say this, we've got.
Oh, by the way, sorry, Marcia, I didn't see you when I mean. This is Marcia Reed, who is also a committee member. Go ahead, Marcia. I was asking the committee members to sit up here so we can introduce them, but what are they afraid?
No, I was just going to say, because the registration sheet going round, we won't necessarily need to wait until the next committee meeting, because when we've got emails, we can send.
That's right.
And even share it on the JDUK WhatsApp chat.
Yes.
Because, so if people are not signed up to the WhatsApp chat, please let us know, so we can add you to that, because that's where updated information is currently stored.
Yes. Please, please, please sign the form that's going around. Please.
Chair, I don't wish to be dismissive of what's just been in respect of communicating through email. But in previous meetings that we've had by Teams.
Oh, Teams, right,
Yes,
okay.
we've been asked to pass on our contact information, email information, and information will be sent to us. It never happened.
Right,
And I've
okay.
experienced time and time again when I've sent information through to get a response, and it never happens.
Okay. All I can do
And
is...
that concerns me.
Okay. That should not happen again. All I can do is apologise on behalf of JD UK. We've recently structured our team, and part of that structure is the introduction of Dawn, obviously myself and Marcia. We never had much of a team, okay? So certain things were missed. So I'm hoping that situation doesn't happen again, okay? So all I can do is apologise for that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my point is that why the consulate or whatever it is get closed down. Why was it closed down? Because if it's linked to the Jamaican government and there's a need in the West Midlands for it, or it just shut down so and nobody knew. That's my point. You know what I mean? Is there a need? If there's still a need, right? Then how come it just shut down? So.
It's the weirdest thing, because no one had the, I don't know what you could call it, to come and call a meeting from the mission and say, let me go to the Midlands and call a meeting and say, we are closing down the mission. That never happened. So you're absolutely right. I have that same feeling, you know. What we understood was that the mission in Birmingham was being swamped. People were coming from Bristol, Leeds, Manchester to this mission, and from London. They might drive past the mission in London, come up to Birmingham, because the service in Birmingham was considered better.
And it was volunteer doing it.
And it was volunteers that were doing it. And the support and the service was brilliant. Better than what they, I don't want to get myself in, better than what they were getting in London.
And they was getting paid.
And yes, and the people in London, when you ring up, they say, go up on the website, go up on the website. Go. Whereas Birmingham, people would prepare to put petrol in their vehicle and come all the way and get an interview. So I think it, were they swamped? Was it too much to be a what was this? We don't know. That's why we think that there should be. The new, I just discovered that the new High Commissioner has arrived. Does anybody know about that?
Rupert, do you know anything? No, Rupert. Not yet, okay.
Has he arrived?
I don't know.
Right. With the new High Commissioner has arrived, so maybe, you know, all I can say, I think we can say, as Jennifer recommend, we bring this to a close, and we will check with the mission about whether or not somebody will come up, because there's somebody in the mission that has a position called Minister Council for Diaspora Affairs. We are the diaspora, and that person, so we can target that person and ask whether or not she would come up to Birmingham and or the West Midlands and give us answer some of the questions. And when will the mission be opened back again? Not the mission, sorry, the consulate be opened back again.
Can I just add to that as well? We want JD UK to grow, and we would like to be seen as a representation organisation. So as soon as we've got our structures in place, we are looking for volunteers in terms of supporting us with some of our mission. You never know, we may consider, adapting some of these services the way it was doing, but we can't do it alone. So we may be that. I'm just putting it out there.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, the next issue is the all-party parliamentary group. Can you see it? We'll get the agenda. Look at it, man. Yes, that's right. That's it already.
In a
You didn't get, I'm sorry, my brother.
There's not enough to go around. I'll listen to you.
Okay. The All-Party Parliamentary Group, APPG. By way of curiosity, does anybody know what that is? Right. In Parliament, in the government here, in Parliament, there's a whole heap of these APPGs where people come together. It's called an all-party parliamentary group representing countries, speaking up for countries. Trinidad has one. I think about 2 more Caribbean countries have, but Jamaica don't have none. Well, I said it don't have none. A woman down there called Dawn Butler, take it over and say she are running for Jamaica. And no matter how much you try and ask her, how many people is on that APPG group, she can't tell you. What is it that they're doing, she can't tell you, and so on and so forth. That group usually come at SNP, Liberal, what do you call it? Liberal Democrat, Labour, Conservative. So member of parliament from these political parties join together and say, yes, man, we'd like to represent Jamaica and represent Jamaica. And we have some serious issue. Them are color people, carry them and lock them up and put them on a plane and send them back to Jamaica on these flights where some of them, their papers and documentation is being processed. And then when they say, but I've got doctors saying that, they said, no, when you go to Jamaica, finish it off in Jamaica. So what we need in Parliament is an APPG that can stand up and say, hold on a minute, and represent to the authorities in government, say, this has to stop. So I think some of us need that APPG. We were asked, we the diaspora was asked to put one together from 2004 in a conference, in the first diaspora conference in Jamaica, and it never happened. Every time we tried to get one going, 1 or 2 or several Jamaican MP jump in and take it over and run gone with it and mash it up. Dawn Butler, not Dawn Butler.
That's the MP, isn't it?
Yeah, she's the MP. She's the one that is called. What's her name, Ricky? For Birmingham?
Paulette.
Paulette Hamilton. Paulette Hamilton has agreed to explore how we can get the APPG going. She went to Jamaica recently with a parliamentary group and contacted us and said, would we give her the authority to explore and investigate how if the approval for her to proceed with it. She come back and she said, I can't make out what she's trying to say, but she couldn't come to the meeting today. She was to come here and she couldn't come. So she promised that she would do that. She also said that she would talk to us by phone, but I don't think we have this set up in time. We were to be able to set it up and give her a call and that she could answer us. So apologies about that. But do we, at this meeting, this formal meeting, agree that we should proceed with getting an all-party parliamentary group for Jamaica in Parliament? I just explained to you, they represent your interest. If Jamaica interest is threatened in any way, this APPC group speak on behalf of Jamaica. And one of the things that come to mind is the arrest of Jamaicans, putting them on a plane and deporting them. And some of them have documentation process ongoing, and they tell them, well, that process you can finish it off when you get to Jamaica. Some of them, poor thing, they've been here from their picnic, 4 and 5. And they put them on a plane, send them back home. And they gone to their relatives back in Jamaica. Now those relatives in Jamaica welcome you for the first 2-3 weeks until your money run out. When your money run out, that you're in trouble. And in 2008, I went down there and I visited some of them. Them a wash car down at the waterfront in Kingston. The relative bring them out. That is the consequence of what happened to the deportees. And as Jamaicans, we have to come together and think, what can we do? So I ask again, this formal meeting, do we think that we should, or would you like to have 2 or 3 questions first?
No questions for me. Why don't we just take a motion and vote and saying, make it go through? Huh? Simply no.
Thank you for you. Anybody else?
But you mentioned, Chair, that there is already a lady in London who has a similar group or may be doing something similar. So I have no objection in terms of formally agreeing a group here, but I think that it's important not to impede or not to cut across anything else that she or they may be doing down in London. So it's about making sure that there is some form of contact with them. You know, I take your point that information may be sketchy from them, but I think it's important for there to be some connection, so at least there's synergy between them in London and whatever may agree here.
Fair enough, good point. And one more. Yes.
Yeah, just one other thing. Following on from what that gentleman said, I think maybe not just the West Midlands, but the North as well. I think we'd have more power if we all joined together in the different diasporas across the country and work as part of that party. I think we'd have more clout, they'd listen to us more. If that's possible. Working together in cohesion.
Right. Jennifer and I serve on the national board. So what you can say is that we are mandated by this meeting to raise it with the national board so that they can talk to the other regions. So what is the motion? The motion is that this meeting gives Paulette Hamilton, give Paulette Hamilton the Paulette Hamilton MP, for God's sake, the permission, thank you. You must help me talk, you know, because English is not my first language.
Can I say something about?
You can indeed, my brother.
She's very busy because, okay, many is from Worthington. And we have a meeting with her many times. And she keep on cancelling it. And it's not good for us anyway, so I don't see how she's going to help us. If she can't come to normal people meeting in Worthington. Okay, I don't even know if by something. But she have a meeting many times for people to come there. But I felt what we have to do as a Jamaican or Caribbean, we want to speak to government and explain to them the situation what we've been into in this country. Because I know younger people than I am, in the 60s, right? They protest, they wrote a letter back to Jamaica, I commissioned, we got a response not too long. We haven't. It just seemed like they just put it under the pillar. And I felt, what's happening? You mentioned about Caribbean, something like that. We have to learn to trust each other.
Yeah.
And for instance, what I felt like, we don't have respect. We want some younger people into it as well. Because my belief, you don't know what a younger people are feeling. Right? The impression what we're giving is for you. Right? Because like you mentioned about, they're deporting people. I've seen it. I've seen it all over the world. They deported people because the Jamaican government, what they say, the European government is responsible for them. Right? We've been to lots of suffering in this country. Not me. I've been to prison. I see black young kids do nothing at all. But every other countries, they've got people respond to them, represent them. Right? We haven't got anybody.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
What is what's more important? What I felt, we need some younger people, if you like, young ladies like that, to train them. We don't seem to do that. Right? I'm annoyed with it. Right?
Can I just come in on that?
just a minute, my darling. What's your name?
My name is Simon.
Simon,
Yes.
Brother Simon. I'm gonna let Jennifer come in. But you're right. But Simon, what we're trying to do, you see, we want to know. Although you mentioned Paulette is busy, she has said she will work with us on this issue, and she will talk to Dawn Butler, the woman down in London then who claims she'll work with it. She will talk with Dawn and take it from there and work with us. Do we at this meeting agree to?
No.
Can I
You wanna
just,
do it?
before we do the vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do it something, you do it.
Yeah, so,
You keep going. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've got.
We haven't done
You
it.
need to change.
we need to change. Can I just address what Simon said? So in terms of getting more young people, it's a common thing that we try to recruit young people to the Jamaican diaspora. We have got more young people involved now, and we do need. So I'd like to ask each one of you that if you know anybody who's young, is interested in getting involved, that's what it takes, okay? In terms of working with other networks, yeah, around the globe, you could say, yes, it is better to work in numbers. I'm a unison activist, okay? So I do believe in working on causes, and it's not just one branch. We work with different branches around the UK. So we need to adapt that similar concept, okay? And it will happen. We need some support.
Just a moment, my sister. Just one or two hands before you, and then the lady at the back there.
I think that it should be clear what we're talking about. We're talking about an all-parliamentary group. That is a group composed of members of parliament. That does not include any representation from us. Right? So what is being proposed that the parliamentarian that is part of the West Midlands then has agreed to take on this responsibility to organize this group in Parliament to represent Jamaica and to advocate and regarding rights and so on, right?
Right.
So it has nothing to do
As simple as that.
with involvement of any individual outside of Parliament.
Right.
I think I was just going to say your point about taking it to the bigger meeting and ensuring that you can get on board people from all over the country. But like you said, you're doing it in numbers, and then everybody is kind of saying and requesting and demanding the same thing at the same time. Because I think if you can get a bigger volume of people making a demand, you've got a better chance of people hearing what you're saying. But if everybody's going to do it individually, it's going to get missed. It's not going to become highlighted as a topic of urgency, which it sounds like it very much is. It's just going to be, oh well, you know, they're over there making a bit of noise, but because there's only those people there doing it, I think it needs to be
Working together in collaboration,
to be
saying the same
coalition
thing.
as such,
Yeah.
of more people wanting the same thing.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying about young people, and I think you're right about getting more young people to be more involved, but it's trying to get, I mean, I was just thinking, my daughter, if she had come here now, she's 22, and she sees this, I think she would just say, this is not for me. I think it's about getting them more interested, whether they have a separate session. My daughter wouldn't be here, my daughter would say, Mum, when are we going? I know that's what she'd be saying.
Why would she say that?
Because, well, first of all, she would be saying, I can't. My daughter was born up in this country, and she knows a lot about Jamaica. She's been to Jamaica so many times and so on like that. But I know for a fact, if she was to come here now, she would be saying, I don't think this is...
Yes, I'm asking, why would she be saying that?
Because there's no representation.
It's the age.
There's no
Wait,
representation.
let us hear what.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's no representation.
Let me just hear what he's saying. Excuse.
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on a minute, please. Just a minute. Just a minute, my brother.
I'm just saying that my daughter is here, and if you give them some time,
Point order, Chair.
No. I'm not going to take a point of order. Let me just, and somebody's on the floor.
Just
Somebody's on the floor.
let this lady finish
The
off
point
her
is,
point.
Chair, agenda-wise, the point is about all-party parliamentary group for Jamaica. The point that the sister is raising is about youth participation in this is a different point. So that point should be in any other business because it's not on the agenda. So that youth point should be in any other business.
Sorry about that.
And
Yes,
then,
okay. Yeah. No, I'm not blaming you.
and then we can deal with this point, get it out the way and go through the
Thank you very
agenda.
much.
Only because Simon raised our youth point.
I think one,
So can that be
Yeah,
noted,
yes.
that point, the youth point for
In
Right.
any other business, yeah.
Gavin,
Yeah, but just to want to ask, maybe this way. How many parliamentarians we know who are either from a space where have a lot of Jamaicans or Caribbean people? One. Two, how many parliamentarians we know who are either from the Caribbean or are usually talk up for the Caribbean? And then maybe three, how long have we ever had any informal type of links with anyone? Because if that is so, then we could have been able to help the sisters in setting up their thing. I'm very weary. I'm generally weary of people who like to help with. But we're a little bit. So we just want to know that if they're helping us, we kind of know the direction they're going to help us in. And we also have a handle in guiding that help.
all right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it off here now. You know why? Because if we set off to go to Canada, and the pilots start to fly you down to Morocco, and then you begin to get a little annoyed with him. You need the plane to go straight to Canada. What I'm seeing here now is, as my brother here, what's your name?
McCarthy.
As McCarthy has just said, it's a simple matter. This member of parliament has stepped forward and is saying to us, do I have your endorsement to proceed and setting up this APPCT for Jamaica? It's a simple something. Can I just ask this once and for all? This meeting agree that we Jamaica need a representation like that, like other countries do, and can we just rub our stomach and say, yes, Mrs. Hamilton, please proceed.
Can we have a vote if we want us to put that recommendation?
Yeah, just raise it.
How likely is she to get involved? I know she's volunteering.
It's likely because she stepped forward
She's
to
actually
ask
put
us.
herself forward.
Yeah.
We have to monitor
Yes.
her ability to do that.
Yes.
That's all.
All right. All right, excuse me. I don't have a hammer. Yeah, I need a hammer. Yes, ma'am. I think I'm gonna hold the discussion now. Do we all agree? Say yeah. Yeah. Done.
Okay.
This one. There's sometimes I go again with issue. We have a situation in our country. What's your name? Yeah. Sharon mentioned if her daughter was here, it would be like a.
Not my daughter.
The younger generation.
Any other business now?
That's we're not going in there.
Any other business?
That's later on, rather youth participation. Let's stick to the agenda.
Oh, mercy God. Wanna make me chair this sitting, man?
No, stick to the agenda.
That's right, that's what I'm doing.
But you went over
Right?
there.
Please, let's have some order. She mentioned that if her daughter was here, if I got that wrong, apology, her daughter would not want to leave. So how do we get our young people to feel part of the culture and part of the business of our organization?
Okay, sorry. Before you
No,
answer,
please.
Ben,
We're
sorry.
going to be,
No,
Sorry, I'm not. No, please,
need to
Ricky
intervene.
and
No,
Jennifer.
I need to
No,
intervene.
please.
That's not an issue.
No, it is.
It's where
Please let me finish. Please have some courtesy. Let me finish. I'm not trouble you. Let me finish. This behavior is not acceptable. Please. In answering that question, a number of us have had some groups set up. And one of those issues was young people who we would like to engage with their culture, and that culture, how to structure it. A group has been formed, and that group is working towards getting that particular mission forward. And they've now sat down, had several meetings, and have called themselves Fusion.
Yes.
That group is asking for our support. They met with the committee, and the committee is considering how we can support them. I'm going to ask Jennifer now just to explain how that group called Fusion, where they reach, and the kind of support we'd like to get.
So, before I go into that, we put together a business plan covering various different areas of how we could support the diasporans in Jamaica and obviously within the UK and also Canada. Then out of that, a small group of people got together and worked on a plan. They call themselves Fusion. And this involves young people going to Jamaica. A lot of our young people are not familiar with what it's like in the Caribbean. So they put together this business proposal of sending young people to Jamaica to learn about the cultural element of Jamaica in terms of education, in terms of work, and basically getting to know about their ancestors and their family in Jamaica. They're still working on this plan. I'm not sure if we've got any representation of that group here, because they were meant to speak about where they're at the moment. We're supporting them with this mission. They're the only ones who's come forward with what was on the agenda in terms of the business plan. So it's something that we're working on. Funding is a big issue when it comes to JD UK. We're currently looking at funding opportunities to allow this project to take place. And I'm hoping that we could have a report in our next meeting so you know what's happening with Fusion. So that's where Ben was coming from in terms of young people participation. But we did agree that the plan is to send young people to Jamaica at a very minimum cost. It's not going to cost them adding nothing. But to do that, we have to work with external agencies, stakeholders, to get them to go over there. But the plan is, we don't want young people just to come to the meeting one time and say, put my name down. We need young people to be part of the JD UK team, and for them to be proactive, and we will actually choose who we will send to Jamaica on this plan. So in terms of getting young people, you know, a shout out again that we do need young people to be part of what we are doing, because obviously, you know, representation, walking in, doesn't look like we're representing young people.
What age is that for Fusion in terms of what age are the young people?
You can just shout.
You're absolutely right. Go ahead.
We'll continue with 2 seconds.
My point is this, Chair. How young is young? What age range you dealing with? When you say young, because some people 50 people say them young. You know what I mean? So you need to stipulate what age range you're talking about when you're dealing with young. And also
we were looking, I think Fusion was more talking about 18 upwards.
18 to what? Yeah, up to
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
18 to 35.
Was it 25? Yeah. Yeah. So they were looking at 18, and the reason why they said that age group, because a lot of school leavers, and it just gives them an opportunity to think of something different. So we are looking at 1825, but that may be extended because 18 to 35, that is still classed as young, and some of them are lost. Okay, so we would look at that as well.
And Chair, my next point is that them have a Commonwealth Youth Exchange thing, which you can use to make as part of the Commonwealth. And in the past, we send ones to Ghana, you came to Ghana as part of that Commonwealth Youth Exchange.
So we'd have to network with, you know, it's beta fusion.
Also, Princess Trust come within that.
Sorry, say that again. Princess Trust, yes, that's right. No, the king, is it the king now? King has got his own, yeah.
I wanted to say that it would be a good idea to work with other Caribbean nations so that they groups.
Yes, yeah, to network, yeah.
So who would go and finance it then? You mentioned about infrastructural reform.
Right.
But nobody mentioned about what's going to cost them, cost effects and all that. It's more important, isn't it? Because if you're going to say, because I really trip to Congo, Ghana, all of the, I've done it before. And we have to think about who's going to finance us. Because, for instance, I felt in this country, like, sorry, forgot your name. You mentioned about that we are in the Caribbean, we are part of the Caribbean.
Yes.
And in England as well, because we are aware most of us are working still in this country. And I felt we should go to government and say we need some money because we're only one country as a black people. They don't seem to support us. Right? And because, for instance, we haven't got anybody to help us as well.
Yeah. So can I just say, in terms of funding, we are looking at the charity status for JD UK. We actually initially started that, and we're going to complete that because that does help. There's a lot of funding opportunities out there. Again, we need to get more people on our team to look at funding. But you are right. We're not receiving any funding. Anything that we've provided today is basically out of our pockets and with the support of Dawn and her business. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we are looking for a group of people to support us in looking at that area.
That's what I'm trying to say. I felt we have some young children into it.
Yeah.
To show what they're interested into. Because it's like, so when I go to Africa, Nigeria, I see other kids coming. For instance, like this lady, what's her name? She mentioned a while ago that her daughter probably really interested. For instance, a lot of us as a black people, we don't thought our kids about African spirituality, or history. It's not what they learn in school. And I think to get them interested in it, we have to show them.
Yeah, Simon.
What path to take.
Simon, if you listen to it carefully, what we are putting on the agenda here is that we've started going down that road to develop this engagement, and this is where we've reached. We reached a point where a group is working on it, just like Wikipedia, and they've called themselves Fusion, and what they want to do now is to get some funding to proceed. That's the last meeting they had with us, and we are just trying to let this general meeting know this group exists, they're seeking funding, and if we can have any advice and guidance with that. Rhea, and then Rasa at the back.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the recent meeting that we had with Fusion, we will be having an event next year in February, and there should be charities there. We're going to invite loads of people from the community, so we're hoping that we will get funding from that event. So that's the latest.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, there will be launches.
But the black industries as well.
Yeah.
You can go and ask them.
That's right.
This thing about always looking for the government to say,
We have to stop.
we have to stop looking at helping ourselves.
Yeah, totally agree.
If that was how that was in the 70s and the 80s, we moved on along from there.
Yeah.
We have to start looking at ourselves and helping ourselves.
Is Jamaica National here tonight? Anybody from Jamaica National? Anybody from, is Gary here from Victoria Mutual?
No.
Okay, they said they were coming. But those are, you're right, Sharon, and those are corporate bodies that have sponsored us in the past and will continue. Rasai?
I have a problem with fusion.
What, confusion?
Yeah. Because I keep trying to represent Jamaica. Some of them never been to Jamaica. Some of them born in this country. And we really have a problem because them start with funding already and they don't even reach out to the third party who's going to participate in this mission of aim and objective. To me, you have to do some work before you even start things off funding. You have to reach out to the third party that you're going to engage with and set up what I call some sort of agreement. You know what I mean? They're not even starting nothing like that.
What's the third party, sorry? Who's the third party?
Anyone you're going to engage with to carry student with, that's a third party.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gavin and then Calvert.
Well, I think from maybe my talk, just from the last time we were talking and I think last time.
But anyway, because I said there are things in Jamaica that can help, that are there already, that we can fit into. And then there are models. So Grace Kennedy have a model that has been there, Jamaica National have a model that has been there, Victoria. So it's not that we start from scratch. So Fusion is doing something, but there are places that they are fitting into. So it's not a zero. But the other thing is, because they must start on their own levels, maybe what we have to do is support them to follow their own levels.
Who is Fusion anyway?
Right.
No, I said, even if we don't know who they are. No, what I said, brother, if even as Jamaicans who are living
just
here,
come to the chair, please.
even as Jamaicans who are living here, even if they are born of their grandmother's lines, they were Jamaicans too. And they have a way to think of Jamaica that may be different from me. They may have an understanding of Jamaica that's different. That's okay. If they want to explore them Jamaicanness in a different way, all we want to know is that they know about Jamaica.
Yes.
So for the purpose of those who hasn't been to any of our meetings before, then do you want to briefly explain about the visit to the parliamentary and what we agreed in the meeting, and this is the creation of Fusion? Just briefly.
That's what I began this introducing by saying we had a problem with young people disengaged from their country, and one of the things that we presented at a meeting last year, we presented 4 policy areas that we think Jamaica could help us with, and one of them was getting our young people, Jamaicans, you're quite right, Gavin, involved in coming to Jamaica. And a group was set up, and that group has been working on how that engagement would proceed. And they've set up their group, they transformed themselves into called Fusion, and where they reach now, they want to launch, and we're just bringing that subgroup's mission to your attention. Thank you. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
God have mercy. Them.
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah, say that I'm part of Fusion, and if anybody wants further information, Ria will take the information and will forward that on. That's it.
Thank you very much. They always sit down right back there and answer nothing, Mrs. Dean. Thank you very much for that. Now, can I just say, thanks, Ria. They're going to have a launch next year in February. So what we will do then is keep you posted.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. But if I can just give you a bit of background in terms of how this came about. So the Jamaican Parliamentary Opposition's invitation, we invited them to the UK. They came over to the UK, and we put together policy proposals for the Jamaican diaspora in the UK. One of them was to set up an executive agency for diaspora affairs. The other one was to focus on the youth element placement, which is named now Fusion. And then there was another one about to end gun ownership in Jamaica. So these politicians came over, was it last year? Yeah? And we put together these proposals. Out of all the proposals, only one has been taken up, and that's the one with the youth. So that's the background. They've named themselves Fusion, and like what somebody mentioned, they've done a good job. They've actually put a business plan together, answering all the questions in terms of who they will contact to get this thing going. But again, anybody needs any questions, please ask her here, and she can advise on there.
Right. Thank you very much. I think we can bring this to a close. Yeah, I think there's some clarity there. The next issue is the proposal, Jamaica's proposal to become a republic. Can we skip that? Or do you really think?
No, give a brief.
Just give a brief?
Just a brief for people who don't understand.
Before we move,
huh?
Before we move from the fusion thing, I think that fusion should report to the next meeting, if possible.
Yes.
Could you record that?
Stating that how many ones are in fusion, the age, etc., what they've done, business plan, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So they would.
To be fair to you, you're absolutely right. We made the mention of the fact that them to come here, but them not come.
No come.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do, we'll actually arrange for them to do a presentation in the next meeting, and they'll give a full presentation of how they started and where they are today. Yeah.
Is that what you want? Okay.
Yeah. But in the meantime, contact me if you need.
Jamaica is considering, I said Jamaica, the government of Jamaica.
Carry on, Ben.
I'm just waiting for the elephant to pass.
Ben, carry on.
Jamaica, the government of Jamaica and the opposition seems to have agreed consensually that Jamaica should become a republic.
I thought it was already a republic.
Take time ready. And as a result of that, they are now investigating, going around the country asking opinion from the populace about how that republic should be determined. What it means is a transition from a monarchy to a non-monarchical head of state.
President.
Yes, it could be a president, it could be something else. And if it's a president, is it an executive president or a ceremonial president? We thought maybe it might be something that the Jamaicans in the West Midlands would like to discuss. We planned one or two discussions, but we didn't have enough time to put on. So can I ask this meeting, do you think that we should organize a meeting to discuss this, and the result of that discussion we refer back to the government of Jamaica? Yeah. Do you think that would be worthwhile? Yes, or just not by yourself?
Is it possible then to have that discussion as an element of the public meeting, rather than just a meeting just for that alone? So
I think
the next public meeting, that could be an item on the agenda to discuss it and give it some time.
No, Ricky, I think that any discussion about this cannot be a PRP or something. It has to be people who can deliver for and against. And one of the things is you can't just bring a meeting like that with everybody comes and say, yes, lick him down, run him. You have to have a meeting where you have that element, but you also have people who can defend the monarchical system. And there are people who I can defend it. I know what it has done for Jamaica. Yes? And if Kirsty could kill me dead long time. But yet there are people who can defend it.
Could we have a discussion
Australia had there in 1999 and the people voted no, they want to retain the monarchy.
So what are we proposing having,
We are different.
Beg your pardon?
We are different from us Europeans, we stick together. It's only one way we can get forward. If we as our bloc group, we stick together.
Right, you hear that?
The Europeans,
Are you saying that the monarchy is better for Jamaica?
Let's not go into that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
we,
right.
this is the problem. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just saying, I'm just answering Ricky that if you're going to have this kind of debate, it has to be a standalone something where all the argument can come out.
I'm proposing that JUK host that debate.
That's right.
The proposal here, Madam Secretary, the proposal is that we have this, organize this debate. Those in favor?
Yeah, JUK hosting the
Are
debate.
those, anybody here against? Afraid or not afraid to say it? Never mind.
So we will host, so what we'll do, we'll plan the event venue and we'll have a lively debate, like a question time. And we'll make sure that we've got equal, the people who's against and the one who's for. So we'll do that.
Number 4, announcement. We have, just this is not going to be 5 minutes. We have some people here who would like to, one of them come all the way from Luton.
yeah, Bedford.
Bedford, thank you. Mr. Clark from Bedford is an author. And Mr. Clark is going to tell 2 minutes about his book, his publication, which we would like to hear. Is there anybody else that has any announcements?
Got a carpenter here as well.
We got a carpenter. Who is the carpenter? Okay. Are you still called Chippy or?
Chippy don't offer it.
Okay. All right. Mr. Clark.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Comrade Chair. And committee members and fellow Jamaicans. My name is Desmond Clark. I've been in Britain some 50 odd years. I live in Bedford. I've always done. I was a soldier in the British Army as well. And to cut a long story short, I got to a point in life where I became a little bit frustrated, angry, bitter, you name it. Went through some family breakdown and so forth. So I came to a kind of crossroad where you either sink or swim. So I decided to swim. And at the age of 39, I was illiterate. So I decided I'd go to evening classes. And from there, I went to college, did a few GCSEs, and I got the taste for it. So I went on, did a few A-levels, and then did a degree, and did a master's. And I was contemplating whether to do a PhD or to write a book, because I always wanted to write a book. So I got to the conclusion that I've had enough of indoctrination, because that's basically what education is in Britain. It's about indoctrinating you to operate within a certain white, racist, terrorist paradigm. And I wanted to find out about me, because I'm coming across Europeans who are saying Africans have never contributed nothing to civilization, they've never done nothing, and they're no mathematician or nothing. So I started going back as far as I could, which was about Stone Age. And that's when to my surprise, I found out that mathematics, geometry, astrology, engineering, all these things were created by Africans or invented by Africans. And I took that and I started writing my book, and it's called Stolen Inheritance. Because first came the Greeks, then the Romans. Well, before the Greek there was the Assyrians, but they're all from Asia or Europe or Eurasia. And they stole, they destroyed, or they concealed, just so that they wouldn't reveal who the real authors were. So my book traced the stealing from Africa of our resources, our knowledge, and our people. And we were sent to 3 parts of the world, east, west, north. Funnily enough, we weren't sent to the south because they hadn't discovered it by then yet. So we were already there, so they just killed us there. Yeah, because you could think of Tasmania or somewhere like that.
1 more minute.
Yeah. So I also wrote another book, and this one was to deal with the sort of evolutionary social and economic situation, and it's called Man, God, Religion and State. I am not religious. I don't believe in nothing. I look for evidence. So when you were praying, I had to leave the room because I do not deal with those kind of myths because they're not mine. So no disrespect to any believers. But the 2 books, as I said, the first one is Stolen Inheritance. The second one is Man, God, Religion and State. And they're all available on Amazon and from other bookstores. Desmond Clark.
Have you got any cards?
Have you got a card, Desmond?
You have any book, yes? Yeah, I've got a few cards, but I wasn't expecting to give out many. Because technology is such a thing now that you only have to Google. If you just Google now, put my name in, I'll come up. So,
well,
thank you for listening. What's your name again? Desmond Clark. Yeah.
Clark with an E, right? Yeah.
Clark with an E, proper Clark.
Sorry, Desmond, if you come back again, just bring a small selection of books so you can actually sell.
But you see, I had to order them from the publishers because it's all done externally.
Okay.
If we can put it in the minutes because Clark was spelled in different ways.
Yeah, they're good Clark.
So, yeah, but just have the minutes so everyone can.
Right. Can I just say, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.
Can I just say, Lord, they missed the meeting mash up.
No, sir, carry on.
Can I just say this is a fantastic story of moving from underachievement to an achiever. Let's give him a big hand. Thank you very much for that story. Yeah. Who is it, my brother? What's his name? What's his name?
Hello everyone. Mr. Lard.
Yes.
Sorry.
You have about 2 minutes, brother. No man, you take your 2 minutes.
Yeah. My name is Daniel Donaldson, and I've been here from 2000. Back in Jamaica, I'm a French Jamaica, but came here, it's different, nobody will deal with the quality French that we build anymore, that is more flat pack. So I went and do my NVQ level 2 in carpentry and joinery. I specialize in second and third fix. More things that you see. I work in a lot of shops, pubs, restaurants. The Nando's in West Bromwich, 2 of us do the whole store, majority of it. So if anyone been that Nando's in West Bromwich, most of the work you look on, I've been through it. And
Have you got any cards, business cards?
He's got a card. Give him a big hand. This is an achiever. Right. Thank you very much, my brother. Which part of Jamaica are you from?
I'm from Kingston.
Kingston, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I thought you might say St. Thomas. I was going to say, we're very sorry about that.
There's only 2 places in Jamaica, Kingston and Country.
Thanks for the opportunity for sharing.
And if anybody needs to get his details, just ask him and he'll give you the details. Okay.
Make an announcement about the show that I work on at the BBC. It's called UK Black. It's on Friday evenings now from 7 till 10. And what we've
Could you just listen, please?
Is the issues that affect the black community in the Midlands. So tune into it on BBC Radio WM, it's on other stations as well. So please, if you've got anything that you want to put onto that show, you think that might be an important story, let me know.
Marcia?
Just very quickly. I'm approached by an organisation that's giving away free blood pressure monitors, and it's for groups over 50 that that is actually being run in the West Midlands in Birmingham. So I'm just putting out a plea there. If anyone in the room knows of any groups over 50s groups that is currently running that would want to participate. Basically, what happens, they come, they do their blood pressure, give them a little bit of information, and they get a free monitor. So I just want to put that out there. Too often, that she's been given the challenge and struggling of 1,500 monitors. So I just feel sometimes.
On that point, I actually got in touch and they came Friday night in Highgate. There's a Domino's group which is primarily older black men. There's a few older black women there that attend as well. And she came there, and then I also, at the same centre, she came on Thursday, and just like, you know, people that don't really look after their health. I think, like you said, the criteria, they didn't say to me it was for the over 50s, it was for the black community. They were kind of giving them as part of Black History Month and told they had to get rid of them by December. So there's a lovely lady called Dawn that goes around to communities, and she's put a lot of people, there was a lot of people quite resistant to that initially, saying, you know, I don't want to know, and there was people that were taking offence that it was only geared at black people, but she's very good in terms of communicating with people. She managed, I've seen maybe 20 men come round to her way of thinking in the space of a couple of hours, so it's definitely worth contacting her if you know of people. And all the criteria is that she'll take your blood pressure, take your postcode, to record that she's actually done it, and then you give her a new machine to keep.
So can I just make, sorry.
Just come and see me. So if there's anyone in the room, please just come and see me, or
yeah.
Or Tina seems to have a contact as well.
Yeah.
But me and Jennifer run a group here on a Friday.
That's what I was going to talk.
We actually had her in on Friday,
okay.
and it was, yeah, as you said, it was. I mean, she didn't really have trouble getting people to engage, because it's sort of tackling it from the well-being angle, and you know, so people were, so it's, you know, but a few people have approached me, and I just want to get our people to maximise on this, because it doesn't happen very often. So
you said, Mickey? Sorry, 2 seconds.
Acknowledgement to Sharon Cabia, sitting in the corner, has come all the way from London to this meeting. So give her a round of applause for travelling from London.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does Sharon do anything?
Sharon, yes, she works for the council.
Oh no. So
very important.
Okay, my brother. What we try to do, just at this little session here, if there's any Jamaicans among us that is doing something that you'd like to inform the rest of the community, Jennifer.
Yeah, just to inform those who are not aware, I run an organisation called the Eugenia Partnership. I'm the founder and the CEO. It's been going for 5 years. Just like what Marcia said, we've been given a couple of contracts from Birmingham City Council to operate a warm welcome scheme. So the warm welcome was initiated after the COVID, where people were more or less isolated within their house, and obviously, you know, when it comes to their debt and utilities. So every Friday between 10 and 1, you know, you're all welcome to come down. We're actually based here in this room. We offer light beverages, and it's a place where people can talk about any of the issues, get involved. We have various people coming down from the arts, teaching about arts and craft. We have health and well-being sessions. We have different ways of healthy eating. The slow cooker initiative, where we was giving away slow cookers. Marcia mentioned about about the blood pressure. Is it blood pressure? So we've got quite a few of them to give out. So yeah, so please get involved, come down. We need to learn how to work together and support. We can't do this on our own. I don't want to go into other communities, but as black people, there's a lot of us doing the same thing in small pockets. So we need to learn to get together, work together, and achieve together as well, okay? Anybody who needs to find out anything about the Eugene Partnership, please contact myself or Marcia, or better still, pop in on a Friday between 10 and 1.
You wanted to say something?
Just
Yes.
Just very quickly, I mean, I'm running a domiciliary provider for African Caribbean elders. So it's about supporting them with their personal care and also supporting them, promoting them in their homes and offering that, that independence and such. So we go in, as carers go in, do meals, prepare meals, help them with bathing and so on, having their hair combed. We also provide pastoral care as well. When we say pastoral care, is those who want a little bit of the scriptures of the Bible and so on. Obviously I'm just saying to you, but we do that as well, because we are the only ones that they actually have contact with, unless they're in church either on a Saturday or a Sunday, but they're normally isolated. As you know, it's our parents, grandparents and so on. So I do run that, and that's been, very successful, and in particular there with promoting. I know we talk so much about our children, but it's also our elderly. They're so isolated, they're so on their own, they don't see anyone, and so on. Their children are grown, gone and leave Birmingham and gone over to London or Manchester, and they're left on their own. Okay. And it's just for someone to go and talk to them and just have some sort of a discussion on anything. So that's what we do.
Yeah. Have you got any?
Yes, I wasn't expected to talk about it.
Well, okay.
Well, this is.
So I didn't know, so I will get that information.
Please, yeah.
I think announcements and promotions over. Thank you very much. Really nice to hear what's been done, and if we could, as Jennifer said, support one another. Come along to the meeting, be part of JDUK, and Lord, the meeting mash up.
No, it's not. Just carry on.
Okay. Come along to the meeting and regularly and take part. Take ownership, in other words. Take ownership and so on. Now, number 5, and we're not going to spend long, Southwest and Wales. We have 2 regions. As I said, we are the West Midlands region, but there are two regions who said they would like to work with us to help them develop. And that's Wales and the Southwest region. Southwest, anybody know what the Southwest is? Bristol, Gloucester, Bath, etc., etc., etc. And we also, God have mercy, the people that come here to conduct their own meeting.
It's all right, then just carry on.
You can't carry on when people come and can't sit down and follow one. Yeah. Then there's another region called the Eastern region. And so Wales is not here, they send their apology. And it's a problem because we need to talk to them seriously, if they're serious or not. But they want to be like us. They want to have regular meeting, have their committee, things, and we're here to help them. But you can take the horse to the water hole, but you can't make him drink it. No matter how much you try, he will kick you. So that is what happened with Wales. So the jury is out. But we do have Gavin, who is the regional coordinator for the Eastern region, which is Milton Keynes, Luton, Bedford, and them other backward, sorry, them other regions down there. Gavin,
farmland.
Gavin, could you say hello, please? This Gavin, PhD student.
Yeah. So you know, Midlands kids is we just try to reach there. A lot of people just move to there from London or from Birmingham or something like this. But there's a sizable Caribbean community there, Jamaican activities, I think. And it's always good that we try to build some more connections. And this is a really good opportunity for us to connect again and link. It's always very good. And thank you very much for having me, Uncle B.
Yeah, what we need from you is a date when we can come down, a group of us can go down and visit the people in the eastern region.
In the farm.
Yes, we're glad to have, we got to have our brother in that region, so if we could link it together now and pick it together. Yeah.
Then one thing that's missing from the JDUK International is the London region. And as we've got Sharon Kelly here today, and perhaps Sharon could be part of that.
Sharon, could you stand up, sir? We don't see her. Sharon, could you stand up, my darling? Please to look this way, Sharon.
Volunteering me for something I don't even know.
All right. Well, yes, thank you very much for your visit. God bless you. And give her a big hand for me, please.
Yeah, I'll just say that because there is no London region.
Yeah, we deal with that. Agenda item.
So the Church of England. Yeah, unfortunately Robert Beckford couldn't be here today. He contacted me this morning and said he had to find it in the place. So I have said to him that it's important that people know about the Church of England Fund. Just for some of you who don't know about it, the Church of England pledged £100 million to reparation for what they did in slavery historically. So they're trying to find ways of how to give this money across. So they're looking for your ideas and they're looking for consultation meetings with you guys. And Roy Beckford was supposed to come here because he's been involved with the process, you see, and he was supposed to come and tell us how it's all going to roll out or how we think it should roll out. But the main thing is that you've got a say in this. You can tell them what you think how it should roll out, whether people should get that money individually as Caribbean people or through organisations like JDUK, etc. So please look out for some more information regarding that. I'll make sure that Robert gets you that information of when he can meet with us to talk about it.
Can I just say as well, I mean, it is online, that information. So that information is online. So anybody can approach. I did actually test it out. It's quite simple. They ask you your name, your address, your business, you know, your thoughts. It's just a basic application. And then I did get an acknowledgement to say thank you for your interest. So they've got this money. They want to give it to the black community because of the transatlantic slavery. So let's not just sit on this and, you know, and wait for Mr. Bedford. Let's look into this ourselves and let's apply and get some of this money. Because that's why, you know, we lose out because we don't do anything. So,
put that link in there.
yeah, yeah, I will do.
You did put up your hand.
Yeah.
Is it about the Church of England Fund?
Well, it's related to what I want to talk about.
You gonna reach you yet?
Whoa! All right.
Okay. Yeah. So, can I just say then you're making a proposal?
For?
You're saying that we should put in a...
Right, what I'm saying, as individuals or together collaboratively, they've got this money, they want to give it to the black community. JDUK is a body, it's an organisation, it's a committee. So yes, I feel that we need to put something in there in terms of representing the Caribbean community for this situation. So we do need a planning group, okay? We need volunteers to be part of this planning group, and the purpose of the planning group is to discuss any initial issues that's discussed in the main meeting. We meet up together 1 day a week, 1 day a month, whatever, and we get something done. So that's the only way we can do this.
I suspect that there are people in this room from other parts of the Caribbean, not just Jamaica. And I think it probably might be a good idea to change the name so that it's more inclusive of other nations and not just Jamaica, you know.
Can I ask a question? Are there any other our sister island represented here?
I'm from Guyana.
You're from Guyana. Welcome, my brother. Yes, we'll talk to you about that.
Part Cuban.
Part Cuban.
Sorry. Oh, right, okay.
Happy to have you.
Did you want to raise a point?
Yes.
Because your hand was up, yeah.
My point is that I think you should have a reparation section. And that's what this church...
The question is, that she's proposing, do we take up the offer and make an application as a group? And that we are dealing with now. Do we make an application?
Yes.
All right.
But it's deeper than that, right? Because you're just talking as a group. But it's also, what the sis stated is that you can also apply as individual.
If you want to go, but go do it if you want to.
No, that's not the attitude. No. Yeah, so basically, what they've got.
Ras, am I wrong?
No. Ben, can I just finish up? Yeah, there's no need for that.
Apologies.
Can I just address? Sorry, can I just address and I'll come to you.
Apologies.
So the church...
I can do it.
Sorry, Ben, let me just finish up. The church commissioners, like I said, because it's 100 million in response to their findings. So what they're saying is, back to what you said, the black community. It's not the Jamaican community, Caribbean.
Caribbean, not black.
Sorry?
Because it doesn't include Nigeria and Ghana. It's
Is it
Caribbean.
Oh, is it a Caribbean?
It's the ones that went through slavery.
Right, okay. So, yes, you can do this individually. If you feel that you've got a cause in terms of supporting the community individually, yeah, you can go ahead. They're not saying it has to be a group, but what we're saying is it's better if it was a group, because therefore it would have more collateral and they'll probably pay attention more because of the JD UK history. But you can do it individually.
What you're going to call, what you stated, what are you going to call
the planning group will deal with that.
Yeah, we don't.
We just want to.
No.
What we do.
Planning is just general. You deal specifically with the Church of England funding.
Yeah.
That's right.
What you are going to call.
What the meeting has sanctioned that we go ahead. Once we go ahead as a committee, we will set up a planning group. Hopefully, you will be a leader.
A brainstorm. We brainstorm names, ideas.
So that is where we're going with it. Now, I'm going to ask now that we've agreed, we've accepted, so we move on. Shall we say yay?
Yeah.
Right. Final item on the agenda, any other business?
Just to mention that I work at Prison Link, and we run a program called the Basic Training Prison Work course. We've got some places left on that course. It's for people who want to work in the criminal justice system, whether probation, prison or police, or resettlement in general. The next course starts at Birmingham Prison Staff Training Centre on the 9th of January, so there are some places left if you want to simulate.
Very good courses, very good. You interested?
Oh, sorry, different matter, Chair, not that.
Okay, I'm going to continue. Yes, sir.
Okay.
2 minutes.
I've waited for right.
I know you've waited a long time, but
I know. It's a very important day today.
Very important.
Very, very important day today. Okay. Who can tell me what today is, other than the 18th?
Saturday.
Yes, and?
It's soup day.
It's the calendar.
Okay. What's happening in the Caribbean, do you think, today?
Haiti.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Give that man a, yeah, right. They're holding a big celebration for what's called the Battle of Vertières. What is the Battle of Vertières? It was the final nail that they put in the coffin of enslavement, so that all of us here would be physically free. The final nail in the coffin of enslavement.
no abolition movement, no nothing like that. And the day is called the Battle of Vertiers. It's a place in Haiti called Vertiers. That's how it's spelled. It's spelled like that. It's got funny French spelling to it. Yeah, but it's pronounced Vertiers. And what happened on that day, the Haitian revolutionaries were able to capture the ammunition compound of the French, which means it was game over. Game over for them. And to this moment, this was 220 years ago now. To this moment, the whole of the Caucasian world are still vexed about it. They're mad, they're livid about it, spitting blood. They still haven't got it because it means it mashed up their whole slave operation. And it just filtered to other nations and changed the whole relationship between, you know, how people, not just the Haitians, but how everyone is. Now, today they've got a big celebration in Haiti. Right now, what time is it? It'll be probably about 1 p.m. there. 1 p.m. there. And the chap who did the no, it wasn't Dessalines. No. I'll show you an image of him. His surname is Capra. He was a military man. And what happened? He decided to take a band of his troops to attack the French compound. And when he did, actually, he ran into a hail of bullets. And he got thrown off his horse, you see, because his horse threw him over. But he still grabbed his sword and kept shouting to his men, forward, 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 forward. And even the French guy who was sent, Napoleon's man, who was sent to deal with it, he says, look, give this man my regard, because he covered himself with such glory. He's such a general. That's it. This is what it looked like. He's such a general. He's a butt. And it was because of his actions that Dessalines was able 6 weeks later to say, well, why independence? you man earned it. And that war changed the whole world. In fact, Jake Carruthers, Prof. Jake Carruthers says, look, the Haitian War was the most important war in the last 500 years, in the modern era, because it just changed everything, because they couldn't continue any longer with their enslavement project. And today is their big celebration day. As I say, they have a celebration. It's a bit like how we hold the Notting Hill Carnival and all the other kind of. They have a big day at Vertier in Haiti today. It's going on right now as I'm talking to you.
All right.
So I thought I may as well put that message out there.
Thank you.
And the second point I'd like to make, because we're talking about people earlier in their silos. At 104 Heathfield Road on a Tuesday, we run some Wolof classes.
What kind of class?
Yeah, Wolof. W-O-L-O-F.
All right.
That is a West African language.
All right.
Most of us speak Wolof, bits and pieces of it, but we're not aware. So between 7 and 9, if there are any younger people here, unfortunately I haven't got any I didn't bring any leaflets with me. Why not? Well, because I didn't realize that the chair would say, well, come out of your silos and say exactly what you're doing, you see.
What's the name of the road?
Heathfield Road. Heathfield Road.
Right.
And
104.
I'm back to the Haitian thing. Here's a nice book called The Irritated Genie by Jake Carruthers. If you're into the reading, Professor Jake Carruthers. And if you're not into the reading, there's a nice DVD called, what is it? 1804. What is it? The Battle of Haiti or something like that.
And don't forget they use voodoo.
And don't forget that dirty book man.
Look, I'm going to stay away from all that. Anything.
Yeah, but that was the driving force.
Well,
read about it. Read about it in Story in the Narratives.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, so his name is Capra, Francois Capra, F. Capra. And he led his troops. As I said, even though his horse was shot and he was thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
And he just grabbed his sword and tell them forward.
Yeah.
And even his enemy had to say about him.
Yeah.
Send congrats to him, you know.
All right.
Here is the man who's
There's nothing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think my 2 minutes is done.
Yeah, man.
Just to mention, Ben, that we're actually at the home of New Star Radio, and we've got one of the presenters here who has a regular show each week. Want to quickly mention your show?
My radio show every Monday from 3 to 6 p.m. New Star Radio online. Obviously, New Star is based upstairs. Many of you may have known New Star when it was on the FM. But over the last year, there was some changes, and at the moment, it's just online. So many people think New Star is no longer operating, but it is still operating. So you can go on to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You've got newstarradio.com, so you can go on there and find out about all the different presenters that are still there. I myself, I present every Monday, 3 till 6 p.m. I do the drive time show. I've also got my own online radio station, which is called the African and Caribbean Radio TV. And that is also not only a radio station, but it's also a site where I support people to set up their own businesses, and if you're interested in accessing grants, funding, business proposals, anything to do with business, startup development, sustainability and growth. So if anybody needs any advice around that, grants, funding, finance, I've been in the industry of business and economic development for African and Caribbean people for over approximately 30 years. So I've got a lot of experience working right from, of course, my grassroots level, and I've worked at the strategic level. So if anybody needs any support, obviously I'm also working in collaboration with JD UK. So if you need any connections, and you can come and speak to me anytime. But do log on to my show tomorrow. It's online, New Star Radio online, and I'm there from 3 to 6 p.m. Sorry, you're right. See how busy I am. Look, I start trying to sit quiet and you just drew me out, you know. Yes, Monday, you're right. Monday. I do Monday 3 till 6 p.m. And it's a very much a family intergenerational show. If anybody wants an interview, you know, if you're doing anything in terms of your business or groups and you want to have an interview to promote whatever you want to promote, such as the gentleman over there with your books, anything, do contact me, or you can contact me through JD UK as well, all right?
I'd like to say as well, Marisha, she's obviously part of the JD UK in terms of the national board. So she's very much active in that as well, and she's been a supporter of JD UK for many years. Thanks, Marisha.
Can I just say, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the meeting.
Next meeting.
Can I just ask you, please, we prepared some meals, and it's ordered. We intended to do it free, but our chest was so big it couldn't reach. So we've had to come back, rein it back, and it'll be £5. That's all. Is that all right?
So, before you go,
it's soup. Hold on. Just excuse me, please.
Just 2 seconds.
It's soup, fried dumpling, fried fish, fried chicken, and salad. Not coleslaw.
No, salad.
It's a lovely little. So please don't leave without buying one, because we are going to end up with this order, and then we it's a kind of lard me done situation, but we can't pay for it.
So before we leave, I just want to recap on a few things in terms of any of the business. So again, we need young people to get involved in JD UK. So what I'm asking is the next meeting for someone to bring a young person with them. Okay, so that's a challenge. Bring a young person with you. We are looking for volunteers for the planning group. So if anybody's interested, can you give your details to Dawn? She'll take your details down and then we'll contact you. And when we have a meeting, bring your business cards, your flyers, anything you've got to leave here so we can help promote your business.
Do you have a date for the next meeting?
We'll have to get in touch with that. It needs to be confirmed.
I think I didn't discuss it with the other members of the committee, but I promise you this is, just a minute, Rasai, I see your hand, my brother. This is the last point, but I discussed it with one. The year is going to end in about 3 weeks' time. Could we have a New Year's Eve social, inverted comma, where we come together in the afternoon, the last day of the year, as Jamaicans and Guyanese and Cuban, and come together. Wait a man, don't walk out on me, please. And then we've done it twice before and it went very well. You have cake leave over, you have delicacies from the Christmas, you just bring it and come along. Is that possible?
Well, that wouldn't be New Year's Eve, then.
What would it be?
It would be after New Year's if you're talking about leftovers and so much.
New Year's Eve, the day before New Year's Day.
We'll have to come back to them on that. We'll plan that.
They're just planning to
Can I just give a sounding? Is it something that you would say nah, or something you'd say yes?
Yes, but not New Year's.
All right.
After, yeah.
Thank you very much. Please. Sorry, Rasai.
Rasai, yes.
I understand, so during you here, I'm going on membership, and you pay the money already, like you send out invitation, you pay money for the, I understand so this is a membership thing. So I don't know if people hold in position, and I don't know what the membership goes, but still yet when I receive nothing but the membership, I have a meeting, I come and say the same thing. So I don't know who is responsible for the membership.
You want to pay your membership?
Pay it already.
And so what is the problem?
He wants an acknowledgement, information.
You want an acknowledgement?
So it's fair.
My acknowledgement is
Yes.
that this run on a membership. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yes, man. So what I'm asking you, you want a letter acknowledgement that you've paid?
Our membership card with UK charitable with the GSE one. Our membership card
Is it you just want an acknowledgement that you've paid?
But this so
Rasai, can I assure you, right? You came, no, he is right. Can I assure you that you came to the last meeting in Nottingham and we discussed that and that's in play now. So any members who's joined JD UK will get some kind of acknowledgement, receipt, and what is that, Rasai?
The organization run by membership.
Yes.
So when you have a position, you should be a member.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We
So
sort that out. We sort that out.
that,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank. Please, if there's a treasurer, could you just stand up, please, Marcia? Please give her your £5.
No, Ben. No, Ben. Stop it.
Oh.